Hi, I'm Old Sneelock. Welcome to another episode of Old Sneelock's Workshop. Went down to the restore and wandered around and saw a bunch of stuff. They actually had a pretty good selection of tools. Most everything that I already had. So I'm trying to not duplicate on things, at least as much as I used to. So I didn't pick up a lot of power tools. But there were a couple of things that just caught my eye. I actually saw one of them on the last trip. Yes, Louie, I got magnets. Always had ideas for what to do with magnets. And having this many to work with is actually a very interesting proposition. Polarity is such that they only want to connect in one direction. And the shape lets them link up. Now I have no idea what I'm going to do with these. It just seems like an interesting supply to have in the workshop. I'm going to have to be careful because they are fragile. These are sintered metal, and one of the odd things you can see about this, when you break this magnet, it becomes two poles that repel each other. Quite strongly. They attract and repel at almost the same amount. I would say they're some kind of rare earth magnet. I don't know what the composition is. But anyways, we're going to find out what they'll do. Like I said, I do have to be careful of them because it looks like they break quite easily. Now, what was the other thing that I got? Today's going to be lots of fun. Makes this solid block of magnets. Quite the deal. Don't know what I'm going to do with them. For now, I'm trying to find someplace large, flat, and fairly sturdy to set them on. Now you would think a guy with this many drill bits wouldn't be looking for more. Well, I do have a thing that I like. Long drill bits. When you're working with a lathe, it's nice to be able to bore the center out of a long piece. And you can put the long piece in a steady rest, use a long drill bit, and bore the full length of it. This drill bit will let me drill to about 11 inches. That'll give me a good inch in the chuck. So this is kind of a cool thing. Something that I don't need are these small sizes. Now wait a minute. Small sizes means they break and they get used a lot. So having some extra small sizes is a good thing. This one is a concrete drill. So is this one. So Louis right on the second guess too. But I didn't get the big bag of carbide bits. I just got this one. Mostly because it had that in it. And it's never a bad thing to have some extra smaller size drill bits. Now this is a nice drill gauge. 17/16. 17/64. Yeah, I got room in that drawer. Now this is a cobalt drill bit. That's a special one. This one will drill through a hardened steel. Not quite as well as a carbide bit, but it's going to do a really good job. And it's a 7/32. Room in that drawer too. This is also a cobalt drill. .3/16. And another one. This turned out to be quite a find. .13/64. That's a carbide bit. .25". I have a ton of 1/4" drills, but there's just enough room in that drawer for one more. .9/64. Plenty of room in that one. This is also a carbide bit. This one's just a standard drill bit. 3/8. Handy one to have. Matter of fact, I have a bunch of them. Can I get the door closed? Yep. Those cobalt drills, I probably should find a special place for those instead of losing them in these drawers. But for right now, that's good enough. Now, as you can see, I had lots of standard size drill bits over in the other toolkit. Now I have a few more drill bits than the average bear. But most of them are standards, you know, just like what's in the yellow box over there. Just the kind that you put in your drill motor and drill a hole. I do like the exotics. So, concrete drills are kind of a fun thing. I don't drill that much concrete anymore. I used to. Man, my dad had this proclivity for finding really difficult places to put services into. I have drilled holes through concrete and stone and brick and way more things than I want to think about. But having concrete drills is kind of interesting. I have several. I have the big hammer drill. I actually have two hammer drills. I have the small Milwaukee and the much larger Skill. But I don't drill that many holes in concrete. I try to avoid it. These guys, these are going to come in handy, I'm sure, at one point or another. Like I say, I don't have much use for concrete drills. I don't drill that many holes in concrete. I have the 3/8 Milwaukee hammer drill and the big Skill that'll take up to a 2-inch hammer drill. And that's more than I'll ever hopefully need to use. But if I do need to use it, I got one. Better to have one and not need it than not have it when you do. So these little drill bits, let's see, this is a relatively little. It's about a 3/4, 775. They'll come in handy at some point. They're rather unique in having this reduced shank. Yeah, that's 3/8 diameter shank on that. So I'll be able to put that in the small Milwaukee and drill large holes in small spaces. That's the big advantage of having a stubby drill. And Mr. Pete talked about stubby drills. This would qualify as a stubby concrete drill. And since my only other one looks like somebody went over it with the ugly stick, I'm sure if I ever do need one, I'm in much better shape drilling now than I would have been with that ugly thing. So these will go in this rack here because the concrete drill rack is pretty well full. They're inexpensive. These are disposable drill bits. These shiny nickel plated things are well, they're not designed to last very long. Usually people hammer the crap out of them and knock them all to pieces and then they stop drilling. This one, this is actually a much better graded drill bit. So anyways, those will come in handy. One of the ones that I like I like one certain style of drill bit better than others, and that's just because they're kind of rare in my shop. This is a 1/4 inch long shank drill bit. It's about the same length as the 7/16 that I got from the Restore. So this works really well as a pilot drill. I use this one on the lathe for drilling mostly through wood. I don't drill steel or aluminum this long. Not that I wouldn't, but I don't run into it that often. So I got a 7/16, a 1/4 inch, Let's see, I forgot what size this is. 3/8. Five 16ths. Another 7/16. This is a 7/16 that somebody put together. It's got a drill bit welded onto a shank. Works. Used that one for the last 20 years or so. But as you can see, the drill bit part is getting pretty shallow, pretty short. You have to go in and out, in and out, in and out quite a bit. So the new 7/16 is going to be a favorite of mine, just because I can do things that I can't without it. And this one's a special one. It's really long, but it's not designed to drill steel. It's only designed to drill wood. This is an installer drill bit, and it's for telephone wire. That little brown stuff that you have to stuff through the side of houses. Yep, this works quite well. It also has a little hole drilled through the flutes of the drill so that you can put a wire in there. You drill it through, have it on the outside, put the little wire on it, and fasten your wire that you're going to pull back through to it, and just pull it back into the house. Works very well. So that's all the stuff that I got at the Restore. Made out pretty well for 10 bucks. That was my daily budget, as you know. Even with inflation, I don't think I can afford at this point to increase the budget of the shop just for incidentals. But I saw them sitting there, and I haven't had that many magnets of one kind, one size, one shape in ever. So I figured I was going to get that bag. I knew if it was still there when I went back, I was going to go get them. And the drill bits, I'd looked at them the last trip, and I went around the shop, and I went around the store 2 or 3 times. I picked them up and I set them down, and I picked them up and I set them down. Finally I said, you know, just pick them up and take them with you. I'm glad I did. Now I have a large size deep hole drill, and that's pretty much it. If you have any suggestions for a new video, questions about today's video, or any of the other videos on the channel, just drop a note in the comments. You know I read them all. Thanks for watching.
This video is not to be viewed by anyone under the age of 13 in the U.S. or 16 in the European Union without the express written permission of the parents or the legal guardians of the underage person. Such written permission must be on file at the local government entity in charge of enforcing the rules and regulations established by the FTC. Anyone violating these terms is admitting by default that they hold harmless the owners and operators of this channel. Any and all questions should be addressed to your local branch of the FTC.